Bowl players.
Okay. Where was the Pittsburgh Steelers running attack ranked in the NFL?
You mean after James Conner got hurt or before he got hurt?
For the season.
When he was running.
For the season, the Steelers running attack was ranked 31st out of 32 teams. And then you wonder why the running back coach got fired?
Is he supposed to do something with Ridley? Who's been fired by 5, who got cut by 5 different
Just
teams?
the facts, Tim. Just the facts.
But he had a Pro Bowl player. You get a Pro Bowl player, you can't fire
31st out of 32 teams.
How many teams had a Pro Bowl player? 3? 3 teams had a Pro Bowl running back. Well, there you go.
Thank you, Smoking Jim Frazier. Chip Hayner, what's on your mind?
What's on my mind? 2.5 weeks away from pitchers and catchers reporting to spring training.
Whoa.
Great crowd, great turnout at Pirate Fest this past Saturday.
Smoking Jim wants pictures of that. He doesn't believe you.
Well, I mean, people were there. I mean, he can believe what he wants to believe.
You know what? I saw it on TV, Chip. I agree.
I was there.
I even saw a picture, Chip, of you and Stephanie with the pirate parrot.
Yes, we
Really?
and the pierogies. And the pierogies.
You got pierogies out there?
No, I got
the
my
pierogies
picture
that
taken
race.
with the
Racing
pierogies.
pierogies.
That goes to prove there wasn't no crowd.
That proves he was there.
See, you have to understand one thing. The line
Bottom
forms
line
behind
Bob.
me, Jim. Okay, just I remember that. Took my wife a while to come to grips with that. So anyhow, looking forward to a new season with the Pittsburgh Pirates, and we somehow this seems to get lost in all of the narrative that's being put out in the newspaper, in the audio media. But Pirates last year were a team that was over 500. They were 82-79. They only played 161 games.
Smoking Jim
last
lost
year.
on that bet tremendously.
And this year, again, people are picking the Pirates to underachieve, but I think the Pirates have taken steps to make the team better this year than it was last year. And I said this last winter at this time, that after the Pirates had traded Garrett Cole and after they had traded Andrew McCutchen, that the Pirates would be better in 2018 than they were in 2017 with those two.
Whoa.
And lo and behold, it turned out to be true. So the narrative that keeps on being beat upon by the print media and the audio media is that the Pirates don't spend enough money. And I think one of the things that we lose sight of is, the amount of money that they spend is irrelevant as far as I'm concerned. What matters is their performance on the field. And if people would have taken the time to just sit back, relax, and enjoy the game, last year was a very enjoyable season. There was a lot of excitement, and if you looked at it come the end of the year, if we would have won 4 or 5 games more, we'd have been in the playoffs. And that is on a team that nobody gave any credit. I think Jim said we're going to win 60 games or something. Well, this year, the number in Vegas for the Pirates, the over and under, is 78.5 games. I do believe the Pirates will win more games than they lose this year. I think the Pirates have taken steps to improve themselves in several areas. One of those areas will be shortstop. There's a young man that the Pirates traded for from the Cleveland Indians named Eric Gonzalez, who was supposed to be a very slick fielding shortstop. And the only reason why he wasn't playing in Cleveland was because of Jose Lindor and Jason Kipnis, who were 2 all-stars at shortstop and second base. So he wasn't going to get a chance to play, and we picked up Lonnie Chisenhall from the Indians as well, who looks like an adequate fill-in until Gregory Polanco's healthy. There's a new attitude with the team with the new hitting coach who's been working with the players since December. So I expect to see better things happening for players such as Josh Bell. I look to see more consistency out of Starling Marte. Corey Dickinson had a great first year as a Pirate last year, batted over 300. By the way, he won a Gold Glove. And with the re-signing of Jung Ho Gong, I think with Jung Ho Gong and Colin Moran platooning at third base, I think one will motivate the other, and I think that Colin Moran does still have some upside. He had a decent rookie season, and I look for improvements from him. So the Pirates are solid at second base with Jim's favorite player, Adam Frazier, and with Elias Diaz and Francisco Cervelli. We're going to be okay behind the plate. Diaz has proven that he belongs in the big leagues, and Francisco Cervelli does a really good job of managing the pitching staff. Now that gets me to the strength of the team. The pitching staff is the strength of this team this year, and they've got 5 young starters on there. They're now battle-tested. Trevor Williams, Jamison Tyon, Chris Archer. Okay, you've got Joe Musgrove. Joe Musgrove showed that he's a gamer, and the final spot will be determined as we go through spring training. The bullpen, short relief, long relief. The Pirates are set up. You've got the Venezuelan nightmare, isn't that Felipe Vasquez?
Yeah.
He's lights out when he gets into the 9th inning. So there's a lot of things if you want to look at positives, you can find them. And of course, if you want to bash the owner and bash the team for their process that they're using to operate in the game of baseball, you can go ahead and do that. But I always tend to look at the glass as being half full, and I'm looking forward to a great 2019. But that's what's on my mind.
Can I say one thing before we go to L?
Long as it's negative. Long as you got negativity.
Chip sounded like he was talking about a strong AAA team. And the one thing you failed to mention was that in your prediction is that Garrett Cole had an outstanding season last year when he got away from the Pirates and had some a team around him.
Yeah, but the Pirates were a better team without him than they were with him.
And Garrett Cole was an all-star.
Okay, great for him.
Give him credit. Give him credit.
But what did they get in return? They got a starting everyday third baseman. They got a starting pitcher who's now one of their starting 5. Not a bad return on somebody that performed well for the. It benefited the Astros and it benefited the Pirates as well.
1 game over 500.
3 games, Jim. Do you know what 82 and 79 is? Do you know what the difference is? That's 3 games, okay?
How much did you win on them, Smoking?
I lost big time.
And you
Folks,
will continue
don't start betting, and if you are going to bet, do the opposite of Smoking Jim Frazier.
Getting all over that 78.
and a half. Thank you, Chip. And we'll just ignore the
your money will be gone in August.
We'll just ignore that negativity.
About the end of August, your money will be
Jim
gone.
Frazier. He's such a smiling, happy, positive guy about, I can't think what, but not our Pittsburgh teams. Thank you very much. What's on my mind? I see an interview with Tom Brady. What's the chance of you retiring after the Super Bowl? He goes 0%. And he goes, I've been saying it. I'm trying to make it to 45. I know it's hard each year. I've learned things. Well, he just played a great game the other day. Got to give him credit for that. 3 times he got a 3rd and 10 pass completed. Took him down in for the win. So my hat goes off to him. I think they're going to tie the Steelers this year in wins. But, hey, what can you do? They've been a dynasty for look how long Brady and Belichick have been around. We can talk bad about them, and whatever if they're cheating, if they're not. Smoking Jim's proud that they're trying because they're cheating. So other people have that attitude with their own team, let alone with the Steelers being a circus this year. The comparison's like unbelievable to see how 2 different teams that we have here and why there's still an impediment called the Patriots.
Well, the reason being is quite simply, the Patriots have leadership and the Steelers don't.
Wow.
Whoa! Wow. You heard it right here from Chip Hayner. Couldn't argue with him one bit. He got it. He hit that nail right on the head.
It's simple as that, And that goes from the top all the way down to the players, because leadership isn't just the owner, the coach. It's the owner, it's the coach, it's the coaches, it's the players.
It got worse to me listening to the fan and Peter King. talking about the Steelers and the ownership, that Art Rooney the second is 66 years old. He's still getting his feet under him as an owner.
Well, he said he's getting his feet under him and dealing with crises.
But he's 66 years old.
Yes, he is.
So I don't know if Smoking Jim's giving him advice or not advice, but something's not right there. And anytime you got to go on all the TV and radio shows to say your team's not a circus, guess what, folks? It's a circus. Why would we even be talking about it when you got a guy going 120 miles on McKnight? You got a couple guys doing this, stirring it up, and they've been entitled, and hopefully there'll be a couple changes. And one more breakthrough from the Steelers on the coaching staff. Smoking Jim, your defensive coordinator, will now officially coach the outside linebackers.
Oh, my goodness.
They increased his workload. Wow. He did so well last year that now he's going to watch those linebackers. Oh, well, we're going to go to a break. We're going to come back with Fiction and Fact from Smoking Jim's Almanac.
You know Russell Wilson. You guys heard of Russell Wilson, right?
Sure have.
No.
And,
explain it.
He's a good-looking guy. Like
Sierra's
Zach
man.
Taylor, huh?
Sierra's man.
Yeah, Sierra's man. He married rich. Well, Russell Wilson played at North Carolina State. And then
Before he went to
his
Wisconsin.
senior year, he transferred to Wisconsin.
And they automatically take you.
Yeah, automatically take you. How about Baker Mayfield? Began his career at Texas Tech, transferred to Oklahoma, won the Heisman Trophy, ended up breaking Russell Wilson's and Peyton Manning's rookie TD record. How about Tyler Murray from Texas A&M? He went to Texas A&M, transferred to Oklahoma, won a Heisman Trophy. Now he's going to be the first player in NCAA history to get drafted in the first round in baseball and drafted in the first round in football in the same year. And that brings me to Jalen Hurts, the all-world player from Alabama, was a freshman and sophomore sensation at Alabama.
26-2.
Got beat out by Samoan as a junior, and now he's transferring to Oklahoma for his senior year, can play right away. In my early predictions, he's going to be my Heisman Trophy vote getter. The last two Heisman Trophy winners played at Oklahoma. Jalen Hurts, 6'2", 225. He's going to go and win the Heisman Trophy for Oklahoma, go in the first round in the National Football League. So
you heard it first.
I don't know how you guys feel about that. Guys can just transfer out.
He graduated.
They got a degree.
Yeah, that's better than you.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to do that. I had to stay.
Thanks, Smoking Jim. We don't want to give out any more personal things. They think you're the greatest.
But that's a fiction and fact from Smoking Jim's Almanac.
Thank you, Smoking Jim.
I think Pitt even had a player like that, right?
Yes.
For the Buffalo Bills, they say he's the worst quarterback ever.
Yeah,
no, they just got a lineman.
Nate Peterman.
They just got a lineman
also had a
from
former
Michigan.
quarterback who transferred and went to the University of Delaware that made a little noise down in Baltimore. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to be looking for a job this week, this offseason.
But he ain't going to be looking for money. He got all the money in the world.
I mean, he sure does dress nice.
All right, that's enough of this banter. Let's hear from Chip's Trivia, if you can find that in the control room.
Hi, good evening, everybody, and welcome to our trivia segment this week. And last week, we paid tribute to the 4 inductees in the Baseball Hall of Fame. And congratulations to all of them. But this Saturday will be the NFL's inductions for this year's class of Hall of Famers. And we've got it down to 15 modern era finalists, as well as 3 one senior finalist, and 2 contributors. I'm going to go over the candidates that are eligible to be voted on, and then we'll go over them, and then, who do we think is going to get into the Hall of Fame? How many candidates can get elected in any given year?
Between 4 and 7. 4 is the basement. 7 is the ceiling.
Okay, so here's our list of finalists. Steve Atwater, safety for the Denver Broncos and the New York Jets, played 11 years in the league. Champ Bailey, in his first year of eligibility as a cornerback, 99 to 2003 with the Redskins, 2004 to 2013 with the Broncos. Tony Baselli, tackle for the Jacksonville Jaguars, played 6 years in the NFL. Isaac Bruce, wide receiver, 94 to 2007 for the Los Angeles / St. Louis Rams, 2008-2009 for the 49ers. Don Air Coryell, head coach from 73 to 77 for the St. Louis Cardinals and the San Diego Chargers. Next up, Steelers guard Alan Faneca, played for the Steelers from 98 to 2007. 2 years for the Jets, 1 year for the Cardinals. Next up after that, another coach, Tom Flores, first Hispanic coach to win a Super Bowl. Head coach of the Oakland / Los Angeles Raiders, 79 to 87. And from 92 to 94 was a head coach of the Seattle Seahawks. Next up in his first year of eligibility, Tony Gonzalez, tight end extraordinaire for the Kansas City Chiefs and the Atlanta Falcons. Steve Hutchinson, guard, 2001 to 2005 for the Seahawks.
Michigan man.
2006 to 2011 with the Minnesota Vikings, and his final year in 2012 for the Tennessee Titans. Edgerrin James, running back for the Indianapolis Colts, spent 2 years in Arizona and 1 in Seattle at the end of his career. Next up, Aliquippas, Ty Law, cornerback for the 95 to 2004 Patriots, 2005, 2008 New York Jets, 2006 to 2007 Kansas City Chiefs, and the 2009 Denver Broncos. Next up after that, John Lynch, free safety of the Tampa Bay Bucks and the Denver Broncos. Kevin Mawai, center from the Seattle Seahawks, the New York Jets, and the Tennessee Titans. Safety extraordinaire, one of the best ball hawks I've ever seen play in the game. Ed Reed, safety for the Baltimore Ravens from 2002, 2012. 2013, he played for the Houston Texans and the Jets. And finally, as players, Richard Seymour, defensive end, defensive tackle, Patriots Raiders. One senior finalist was announced in August of 2018. Johnny Robinson, safety from the 1960 to 1971 Dallas Texans / Kansas City Chiefs. And then 2 contributor finalists are also announced. Pat Bowlen, the owner of the Denver Broncos since 1984. And somebody else who I cannot believe isn't in the Hall of Fame already, Gil Brandt. Yeah. Vice President of Player Personnel from the Dallas Cowboys from 1960 to 1988. And a contributor from 95 to the present from NFL.com. So going through some of these, there's a number of them, I think, that we could just go ahead and scratch off all the list. I personally think Steve Atwater doesn't have the credentials to make it. Tony Baselli, even though he was a monster as an offensive lineman, I believe his career was too short. I scratch him off. I think Don Coryell, somebody that should make it this year. Another worthy candidate, I believe, is Isaac Bruce. Champ Bailey. I'm on the fence about Champ, and we'll see what my friend Jim has to say about that. Maybe this is the homer in me, but I think this is Alan Faneca's year. Yeah. He went to 9 straight Pro Bowls. And it's as good as an offensive lineman get. Tom Flores, coach of the Raiders.
Only one Hispanic can get in the year.
Well,
Tony Gonzalez going in.
Tony Gonzalez, hands down, first ballot Hall of Famer. No question about it. Over 1,000 receptions in his career as a tight end. Steve Hutchinson. I just don't know if he's got the resume to make it this year.
Man.
Edgerrin James, I don't believe the Edge has the credentials to make it into the Hall. Ty Law, he's on the fence. I would be on the fence about Ty Law. John Lynch, free safety for the Bucks and the Broncos.
Plus, he played baseball.
I'm not necessarily. Kevin Mawai, was the strongest center to play in his era, but even while he was playing, wasn't Dermontti Dawson also playing for the Steelers?
Yeah.
And Dermontti's in the Hall. So Ed Reed, without a question of a doubt, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. And Richard Seymour, I don't believe that he belongs in the Hall of Fame. What are your thoughts?
Well, Richard Seymour needs to go away. Here's the guys I got going in. I got 5 that I would vote in. Ed Reed, got to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Tony Gonzalez, got to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. And that Tony Baselli, best ever seen in left tackle.
Okay.
Didn't play long enough, but he was more dominant than Ogden, who's already in. Steve Hutchison, Michigan man. I put him in. And Gil Brandt, I like to get him in before he dies.
I do believe Gil Brandt does deserve to be in. There's no question of that. I mean, look what he did with the Cowboys.
Could never get in because he backstabbed Tim Tebow, so that keeps him out.
Thanks for making that clear.
And what do you think is wrong with Alan Faneca's credentials that does not make him worthy of the Hall of Fame?
Too many Steelers in.
Well, they don't know what Alan Faneca is. Alan Faneca was 335 pounds. I remember when he turned pro. Kevin Falk, the running back for LSU, announced that he was going pro after his junior year. Alan Faneca's in the back of the room with a flannel shirt on and chewing a straw stick. You know how they break off the straws in Louisiana and use it as a toothpick? Alan Faneca said, "Me too." Alan Faneca was so great. He was a road runner. He could knock his man down and go after the linebacker and the defensive back. Great player. But the voters, when you played college ball at Michigan and Steve Hutchinson played there, and Alan Faneca's, he's a little man now. He's a marathon runner. They like you to stay big when you go in the Hall of Fame. So I think that's what's keeping him out, running that marathon. And I think
because he shrunk.
It's hard to get guards into the Hall of Fame. Centers is hard to get in. But I think that Steve Hutchinson will get the media vote over Alan Faneca, although, in my opinion, Alan Faneca was a lot greater than Steve Hutchinson. Hutchinson was good, but Faneca was great.
See, and to me, that's what weighs the tips the scales.
Didn't he have a little bit of red hair? There's a bias about red hair. I told you that before.
The points that Jim made is what I think tipped the scales in Alan Faneca's favor. We will find out Saturday night. But it'll be interesting. But, Tom Flores, you know what? He's got a resume, he's got multiple Sharpies on his show.
Gonzalez or Flores?
Air Coryell, that's my vote.
There you go.
Air Coryell.
But he's dead already. What's the rush?
Posthumously, they do a lot of that.
Yeah, there's no rush.
Do it now.
Next year after.
So
do it now.
We will report back next week with the inductees.
Bruce in my book ain't no Hall of Famer, man.
Thanks, Smoking Jim Frazier.
Hines Ward,
thanks, Chip Hayner. Let's move on.
Troy Polamalu next year.
All right, thanks for the control room. They did a couple faux pas, but we're good with that. We can roll with it. We'll just keep talking. We got Penguins to talk about. Penguins played a horrible game, Chip, the other day. I watched part of it, shut it off, turned it back on. It got worse.
It got worse. And, and the Penguins are still doing the same things they've been doing since the beginning of the year. And, the lifespan of a coach in the NHL is about 3 to 4 years.
4.3 actually,
Even with 2 Stanley Cups back to back, I think the Penguins players may be playing Mike Sullivan out of Pittsburgh because somehow, some way, the message is being lost on the players. They continue to keep doing the same things over and over and over, and they keep on playing sloppy hockey. And Evgeny Malkin gave up the puck on a power play.
Short-handed goal.
The 11th short-handed goal the Penguins have given up this year,
Don't they lead
which
the league?
leads the league. Yeah. And the Penguins' record against the worst team in their division is 0-3, New Jersey Devils. And, and I'm starting to look at that, and I'm like, man, this looks like the Steelers when they play a team with the losing record,
They play to their level.
I mean,
They do.
At some point, something's got to give, okay? Now, the Penguins made a trade, and it's interesting that they traded Jamie Alexia back to the Dallas Stars for exactly what they gave up to get him. They gave up a 4th-round draft pick to get it, and they get a 4th-round draft pick back. And I don't know how that helps the team now. I know they had to create a spot for Justin Schultz, who's coming back from a broken leg. Yeah, and I believe there's going to be another one, and it may raise a few eyebrows because, if somehow these players have to get the message that they got to buy into the system. We know that the system works because we won back-to-back championships with it.
And almost a third.
At the way the Penguins are playing right now on January the 29th, I do not feel that this team would be capable of winning the Stanley Cup this year. Now, can that all change? There's plenty of season left, but they got to start showing some more consistency, and things don't get any easier for them tomorrow night.
No.
The best team in hockey this year is coming to the PPG Paints Arena, the Tampa Bay Lightning. And they are by far the cream of the crop this year.
They will test us for sure.
Well, and here's the funny thing. As badly as they played against the worst team yesterday, they'll do something screwy tomorrow like shut out the Lightning and beat them to 3-0. So there's no rhyme nor reason. And, this turning the switch on and turning it off,
it's rare in sports, but they do it often.
It's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
Your first 2 minutes when you were talking about the Penguins, Chip, you really sound like you're talking about an organization and a team that's cursed, like I said before, the Fleury curse. You talked about the 2 Stanley Cups, but I said last year when they got rid of Fleury that they'll never win another Stanley Cup, and like you said, they cursed team.
In arguing the validity of why Marc-Andre had to go, I mean, it was a salary cap move. They invested too much money in too few players. They couldn't afford to keep Marc-Andre Fleury. He was a cap casualty.
I think that helped his career though, because now he's going to, what he did with an expansion team, I think put him in the Hall of Fame. Not that he wasn't already gone, but I think it put him in the Hall of Fame.
And I could say, I can't argue that by the end of his career, I would say that Marc-Andre Fleury would definitely be a Hall of Fame caliber goaltender.
His skills are proving that. Just how he plays the game.
Well,
whether it's here or there.
And regardless, his name's on the Stanley Cup 3 times. Okay? Regardless of, the 2 cups that we won back-to-back, we would not have won those cups back-to-back had it not been for his contributions to the team during those seasons. There's no question about it. They needed both goaltenders then to do that.
Well, you got Smoking Jim validating everything you say for now. Could we talk some Steelers?
Yeah.
Let's talk a little Steelers. That'll change.
Well,
that. The Penguins do need some help. It has to come from within.
Let me ask you guys a question.
Just one.
When Chip was saying how the players always get the coaches fired in hockey.
Yeah.
How is that any different than the insubordination you see in football that everybody's talking about? The players, all the way from Mario Lemieux all the way down, have gotten their coaches fired.
Hockey players are tougher guys.
Everybody's a good guy in hockey, but when it comes to the NFL, they're bad people.
Well, the hockey players actually have a tougher mentality than because they hurt their toe, they got to sit out a game. They're playing with broken legs, jaws,
You know,
arms.
but you're trying to cookie
whole
cut
different mentality.
everything. You know, and I mean, you're trying to compare. You're not comparing apples to apples. You know, the game of football is a completely different animal than the game of hockey is. You know, and if you look at the history of the National Hockey League, coaches come and go, and you see the more successful franchises in football are the ones that keep their coaches around the longest. I mean, look at what the Steelers have done over the last 50 years with 3 head coaches. Look at what the New England Patriots have done in the last 18 years with 1 head coach. You know, now look at the teams that have been abysmal failures year after year. Cleveland Browns have had 463 coaches since the year 2000, and they are and there have been nothing short of a train wreck. And look at the Arizona Cardinals. They had a couple of good seasons where they looked like they could be contenders, but they keep changing coaches year in and year out. And with football, getting a system in place and then drafting players to fit your system is the recipe that seems to work. Now, and if you're constantly changing what you're trying to accomplish, then you get no consistency, and subsequently you get the Cleveland Browns. Hopefully the Cleveland Browns have turned a corner, because I would really like for that to not be an automatic 2 wins or 1.5 wins this past year that it has been. It would be nice that if the games against the Cleveland Browns were like the games against the Ravens,
Yeah.
They were knocked down, drag out. So who knows? Now that Marvin Lewis is long, maybe the Bengals won't be the Bungles anymore. Who knows? They were smart enough to make Hugh Jackson go away. Did you hear about what he told the owner of the Cleveland Browns when they came in to tell him that he was fired?
No.
He told the owner to get the F out of his office. He came in to tell him that they were going to be letting him go, and he threw the owner out of his office.
Wow. I didn't hear that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the guy was just he was delusional on his best day.
Hard Knocks was good, though. Hard Knocks.
Yeah, I never wasted my
saw
time. Never, but I mean, we just saw the result of it.
Sure. Sure.
So yeah, the Penguins right now, they're a team in trouble, and the thing is that what do you got to do to get Evgeny Malkin back on track?
Sit him down.
He started out the season real strong.
Yeah.
The first month of the season, he had 6 goals and like 11 assists. And then since then, he's done absolutely nothing. He's not shooting the puck. He's turning the puck over, and the fact of the matter is they've handcuffed themselves with the salary cap. Is that you can't bring in other people to take his spot because you're capped.
You got to give them credit because they do have the best players there. Malkin, something's wrong with his head. It's in his head because he's still got the same ability, still has the same size, and he's played well. I say sit him down for a week. Give him a week off. Get his mind straightened out. Say get away from the team for a while even. Who cares?
Send him back to Russia.
No, they got problems over there.
Yeah.
There's problems in Russia.
No.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. You got to read more
But
than what your Trump
on a
said.
different note, Sidney Crosby proved once again who the best player in hockey is.
MVP.
Yeah.
Last Saturday night at the NHL All-Star game, he won himself another vehicle, won himself an MVP award.
Just what he needed.
Scored like 6 goals. But they have different format there. They had 3-on-3 tournaments.
Yeah.
Which
Another year or two, he could move out of Mario's house. Huh?
you think
He already did.
Mario's already borrowing money from him.
Yeah, he already did move out.
But so at some point along here,
Did he play against a girl in the All-Star game?
there was a girl who competed in the skills competition. Okay, but I don't believe that she played in the game. No.
Toughest game going, right?
Well, I'm telling you what, hockey players, I mean, they play with broken legs, they play with broken jaws,
Play with girls.
Smoking Jim, there's no pleasing.
You know what? There is a
There's
young
no
lady.
pleasing you.
There is a young lady who may play in the NFL one day.
Speaking of
a
girls, we got boxing coming up. There's some great girl boxers that are out there.
Yeah, they box against each other. They don't box against the guys. it's almost like baseball. Everybody says the hardest thing to do in sports is hit a baseball, but I see everybody doing it. I see a lot of people doing it.
They're not
No,
doing
you
well
don't.
at it.
Hardest, man.
They're not doing well at it.
Well, then tell me why nobody's batted 400 since 1941.
Because there's 11 people in the outfield.
There's still
9
only
people in
three.
the outfield.
Three.
9 defensive
Three.
players.
The baseball's 150 years old. It started out with 9 players, 8 in the field, 1 pitcher, and it's still being played the same way.
So when you hit the ball, they hit the ball, but somebody can get it. So there's people out there that can catch it.
Have you ever watched a game?
Yeah, I went to
Ted
4
Williams,
games,
who is
like,
arguably one of the greatest hitters of all
great,
time,
Great.
who was the last man to bat 400 in a season, said that he felt that the single hardest thing to do in sports is hit a round pitched baseball with a round bat and to hit it squarely. It's not as easy as you think.
Explain your Pony League record.
Jim, but understand this.
What happened to
The
your
people
Pony
that you
League
see
record?
doing it, they get up every 10 times they get up. 7.5 times they make outs. Okay? So they're not
But
really
how
doing.
many times do they hit the ball? You said
3.
it's hard to hit the ball.
3 out of 10.
Yeah,
They
you
hit
have
the
to hit
ball
it
a lot.
squarely. They have to hit it
2 to 3.
squarely.
Squarely, that's the thing.
You got to hit
Squarely.
it between the stitches if you want to hit it and accomplish something with it. You hit underneath it, you pop the ball up. Yeah, did you hit the ball? Yeah, but we made an out.
Smoking Jim knows. He played the game.
If you hit the top of the ball, you hit it into the ground. Then one of the infielders throws you out.
Squarely,
That's not a hit.
Okay.
That's not a hit.
Oh, you played ball.
You
should
foul
have
tip a
felt
ball,
that.
Jim.
Only
You
thing
hit the
I-
ball, but you don't go anywhere.
Only thing I know, the only record in baseball that'll never be broken, other than 4,000 hits. The only record
56.
that'll be broken. But the only record that'll never be broken is 1,900 plus wins, and that's what Pete Rose has. No sport will ever, not baseball, no sport. Brady, all the rest of them, nobody will have 1,900 wins but Pete Rose.
Well, the nicest thing
But
about
he
it,
ain't in your Hall of Fame.
But he
the
never will
nicest
be.
thing about it is he'll be the only guy with 1,900 wins not in the Hall of Fame because he signed it away.
Because they didn't like
No,
it.
no, he signed the paper.
Because he broke the
He
cardinal rule.
signed the paper.
He broke the cardinal rule,
His
Jim.
signature's on a paper admitting.
Do you believe
that
that there
he's-
are rules in games and that they should be abided by?
I believe that he's
If you're
the
not
greatest
cheating-
player I've ever seen.
If you're
in
not
any
cheating,
sport.
you're no good.
The way he played the game, whether it was an exhibition or all-star game, he gave it your own. Charlie Hustle.
Pete Rose was a good baseball player.
Great.
I don't think he was
Great.
Jim, I watched a lot more baseball than you ever dreamt of watching. Okay?
You only calling him good? He was
Mm-hmm.
17 All-Stars. 17 All-Star games he made.
There are other
17
players that have
All-Star.
better credentials, and I'm telling you that right now. And guess where they're at? Cooperstown.
Smoking Jim, you're one of a kind with this baseball thing.
He got my unanimous vote.
You don't have a vote. You don't even know the game.
So anyhow, the argument for Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame is not even an argument. Go ahead.
Actually, do you think Al Oliver should be in?
Absolutely.
Thinking that.
He was down at Pirate Fest on Saturday.
Was he?
Wow, no line around him. Did they even remember him?
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah, he and Richie Hebner, Bob
I
Robertson,
remember Richie Hebner. I liked him.
the
That's 'cause
Gravedigger.
the girls like them.
The Gravedigger. But
He a third baseman, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
yes, he was.
I knew
What
I
two
did
numbers
somebody.
did he wear playing for the Pirates?
22. 13,
I forget.
20.
20 and number 3 were the two uniform numbers he wore
That
for the
was
Pirates.
yeah, I knew it was 20.
But
Sorry, we diverted a little bit here. We're
We-
just
we-
covering sports here.
we're
The
just
Smoking
covering
Jim
sports.
puts his opinion out there, and he doesn't get a vote.
So yeah, and then we're Pitt, University of Pitt's playing tonight in Clemson, South Carolina.
Yeah.
They're trying to get
one-win.
back on
I don't
track.
have a vote. I don't have a bet in that game.
Why? They're both one-win teams.
Yeah.
You should have picked one. Flip a coin.
I got my bets in. I got six. I hope one's a winner.
Yeah.
I wondered why his picture's down there at the Rivers Club
But hey,
Casino.
if you guys want to do prop bets, the Super Bowl, we got to talk to Super Bowl a little bit.
Sure, let's talk.
There's
Maybe we
a
have to make our
guy
picks.
Who was here's a 2-star recruit that was only recruited by Toledo and Pitt and signed with Pitt. Pitt had no idea who they had when they got Aaron Donald, but they said they knew after the first practice. Was here this 2-star recruit that nobody wanted. Nobody could block him in practice from day one. They said, we got somebody special.
He's from a school up by
just
west of Monroeville, right?
Yeah.
And that, folks, since he brought up Aaron Donald, that is the reason why I am going to pick the Los Angeles Rams to beat the New England Patriots Sunday, because I think Tom Brady is going to get banged around, and if history has proven anything about Tom Brady, when he gets hit, he doesn't like to get hit. And I think the Rams' defensive line and their linebacking core and Aaron Donald are going to make things a little uncomfortable for Tom Brady.
I gotta disagree with you, Chip. Brady.
All right. Good. I mean,
agree with Chip.
good
I'm
man.
going with the Rams.
I'm never going to I'm never going to root for Tom Brady. I can't. It's in my DNA.
Really?
Yes. You saw the DNA profile. You saw the DNA profile I showed you.
Yeah.
It said I was 42% Italian, and it said you can't vote for Tom Brady.
Wow.
It's in my DNA.
He got my vote.
But
As I'm a Steeler fan.
I'm going
believer.
to be rooting for the Rams, and I want to see a local Pittsburgh product who probably once again this year will be NFL Defensive Player of the Year. 20 and a half sacks. Well, do you want to know? Do you know what Joe Green said about Aaron Donald? That's a Super Bowl this week. He said, if I had the talent that this kid has, I would have got 20 sacks every year.
Wow.
Joe Green said that. And if Joe Green says that, then that's somebody.
Donald doesn't have the size. What's he, like 6'1", maybe?
Doesn't matter. He's just
Green
a beast.
was like 6'5".
Yeah. He's just a beast.
275.
Aaron Donald, I mean, you see him play. He makes an impact every game.
Great player.
He makes it's technique. And you know what? Being that he's going up against the bigger defensive line, he's got the leverage against him,
Well, they can't chop you or cut you anymore. Conrad Dobler ate him up alive. He wouldn't have had no kneecaps. But that's the way the game was played.
Yeah.
Mike Webster and John Kolb and them would have had a field day on them kneecaps. He got bulky kneecaps.
Who does?
Aaron Donald.
Yeah, but
How do you know that?
He doesn't spend any time on the IR, does he?
No, because they don't chop.
Well, I guess he's not a brittle brother.
Yeah. Remember in the old days, you played offensive line, Al Levine, the talking machine. One guy could hold you up, another guy could chop you. It's a different game today.
Yeah.
Brady couldn't have played this long back in the day.
No, he's sure good enough. Back in the day when the head slap was instituted.
How'd George Blanda play into his 40s?
Well, mostly kicking, but he was tough.
Yeah,
He
could throw too.
Oh my goodness, he come in and throw that bomb.
He was from.
I don't even think he wore a face mask.
He was from Youngwood down here.
Yeah.
And there's actually a street named after him.
Really?
I drive by it every day.
No
Where's
way.
Youngwood at?
Youngwood, just south of Greensburg, between Greensburg and New Stanton.
I never got to leave Monroeville. We got everything in Monroeville.
You're not even in Monroeville most of the days. Come on, man. You're all over the city. We know that. You're at PCTV.
Unless I want to fly out of Latrobe. Why else would I go to Greensburg?
That's
Did
not
you guys
far
know
enough.
that Arnold Palmer and
Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers graduated together?
And they're both from Latrobe. And guess who else is from Latrobe?
Latrobe?
Latrobe. If you're from Latrobe, it's Latrobe.
She was a beautiful guest on our show, actress, singer, model.
Oh, yeah. No, you had lunch with her.
I just had lunch with her.
She got a great name.
Nat.
Sugar.
Nat Sugars.
Natalie Sugar, yeah.
She said to say hi to you.
Oh, my goodness. She is one of the nicest, most beautiful. She reminds, you know who my all-time crush is. Everybody
No.
knows I love Kim Kardashian now.
Oh,
No brother can resist that. And Nicole Smith. But my all-time favorite to this day is Dolly Parton's, and she reminds me of a young Dolly Parton's. Nice and
Yeah.
beautiful.
yeah.
Because Dolly's just a
And
nice.
she's smart too.
Huh?
She's smart. She got a lot of things happening.
I don't know if Dolly was that smart.
She is. She created Dollyland and everything.
Did she? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But she's beautiful. Dolly Parton's so nice.
Dude,
and
she was
sweet.
smart
She was
enough
in
to get
movies.
PAID. Paid.
And she could cook too.
Don't know about that. I mean, she never fixed me a meal. So,
We had a nice lunch and even mentioned you. She said, "What a nice show we did."
Oh, thanks. Is she
She's-
going? You going to book her?
Yeah, sometime in April we might do a special show at
Hey.
one of her locations.
a friend of our shows, Brutal Brendan Barrett, is
Yeah.
fighting for the NAB Heavyweight Championship here.
In Rhode Island. Yeah, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
He's tough.
He is.
Did-
Boxing.
Did Bergman recently have a fight?
I think he did. Yeah, I didn't hear anything.
I haven't seen him. I
He was supposed to fight this weekend, I think.
I've seen him working as a lineman.
Yeah, he's done that.
When the
And
storms
he's been
come in.
sparring all around the world, though.
Yeah, I saw he made trips to Russia and
Really?
other things. Oh
I
yeah.
thought you said it was bad in Russia.
How's our time look, guys?
I thought you said it was bad in Russia. I think we're just about done.
Yeah, we might be close.
How about
Hey, control room, can you tell me
did
how much
Juju
time?
fake the injury in the Pro Bowl?
No.
No.
Because it didn't look like that bad of a hit. Now,
It's
all
a
of
knee
sudden it
contusion,
looked
they said.
like- Yeah, he's fine. He's back dancing.
But Pat Mahomes
Hey, you
won
guys
the
in the
Pro
control
Bowl MVP.
Did he?
Yeah, and that defensive
check,
back, Jamal
anything,
Adams
anytime.
from the Jets, they were co-MVPs of the
That's it.
game.
Wow.
And then they broke the trophy at the presentation.
How'd they do that? Really? They were fighting over it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Whoever the meathead was that was presenting the trophy broke it.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
that's.
didn't get a chance to watch it. I
Well,
really did. Mahomes did good?
we can continue this conversation after the show, but we're done. Thank you very much for watching our show. We appreciate doing it. It's been over 7 years.